All right. So last week, I know that none of you guys were on. It was like me and Jonna and Georgia, I think. You know what? Let me post really quick on the team page and just let people know we're on just in case, because Georgia's been getting on every week. I know Jonna's out of town.
Mm-hmm.
She's taking a girls' trip. So, all right. So what we're going to do is, and I talked about this in a video today in the team group, is on March, I think it's the 23rd or something. Let me make sure that I'm saying it. Yeah, okay, March 23rd at, I think we decided on, hold on, I wrote it down.
7 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, okay. Georgia, hey.
Hi.
I didn't see you.
I just got on.
It's 7 your time, so it's 8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, right.
Right? Okay, so we decided on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday, March 23rd, we are going to do a sneak peek into coaching. So it's kind of like, shoot, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Sorry.
Bless you.
I swear I've been sneezing so much. I'm like, coronavirus? No, I'm kidding.
No, seriously, who knows at this point? Because it's probably way more widespread than we think it is.
I mean, I've probably been exposed to it already. Like, it's just, not
Yeah.
because it's only going to affect you if like you're immunocompromised. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a sneak peek into coaching, which we used to do these before, and really it's to expose people that are curious about becoming coaches to what this opportunity can do for them. It's not necessarily like to enroll them. It's just like a lot of times when you're talking to someone about becoming a coach, it takes multiple meetups. So whether it's you invite them to like, Ange, I mean, you finally went to a live event, and live events are amazing for people like learning about coaching and becoming coaches. I became a coach from a live event too. I got to meet Shanti in person, and that's how I became a coach. So what these do is we get on a Zoom, we invite people that are curious about coaching. And I even think you could invite people that are curious about like joining, a challenge group, but explain to them like it's kind of going to take the challenge group like a step further, right? Because they might not be ready for coaching yet, but they might be curious about joining a challenge group. And if we can gear the presentation a little bit more towards like focusing on their journey and their goals, I feel like we could invite both. So that was my idea. Like this last week, I was like, we should gear the presentation more towards just your own personal journey. Oh, your speaker's working now. Hey, Twyla.
Hi.
I can hear you now. Yay. Oh, there we go. We got a video. Welcome. Happy to have you.
Thank you.
And the reason I'm saying that is because you might have someone that wants to know more about what they can see in a challenge group, or what they can do in a challenge group, and they might not be ready to be coaches yet, but they could come, watch the presentation anyway and be exposed to that. And for me personally, like I expose people to multiple different channels for coaching, whether it's like sending them a video. Sometimes, say for example, I've talked to somebody about coaching before and they've been on our coach calls and they still aren't ready yet. You can send them a national wake up call that has a similar story to them. So say someone on the national wake up call talks about how they were, like an engineer before or whatever, then you'd be like, hey, as you're watching or listening to that call, if that person pops in your mind, what I'll do is I'm like, hey, I just thought of you. I was listening to this national wake up call. This chick's story sounds a lot like yours. Like, I just thought of you, listen to this. Like I tell them what part of it to listen to, because those calls are like 40 minutes, right? So I'll say like, start it here. Like I'll get them past the recognition. I'm like, just listen to the story from here to here. And it just made me think of you. And I've done that before. And I'm not saying that that's what made somebody sign up as a coach, but like, just understand that for people to get over their fear of becoming coaches, they often have to be exposed to information, like touch points, like multiple times. People say no 7 times or something like that before they say yes. So this is just one touch point. It's not necessarily going to be the way you get them. It's just the way you're exposing them. If you think about it, it's just information. I'm not like trying to back you into a corner and make you a coach. Stephanie wants to say something. It's just getting information. That's it.
So this is perfect, like what you're talking about, and it like with the book that that I shared about in the team page, I have had so much success with that book. So like when offering people, you know, an opportunity to come to something that you want to invite them to, you know, hey, Marissa, I'm not sure if this is for you, but, and the book actually talks about the fact that like people are like, but what? Why is it not for me? And it actually just piques your interest no matter what the hell it is that you were talking about, but it actually will pique their interest. So it's like, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you, but, you know, and share why you want to share something with them and, you know, see if they're interested. So I actually like just sent out a bunch of follow-ups and I'm like, another thing is like, if somebody's reached out and like ghosted, you know, maybe they reached out and you're like, oh, but I think that they'd really enjoy this opportunity. You know, I'm not sure if you're still open to us working together, but people don't want to be closed off, you know, like, no, I'm open, but what? And then, you know, share more specifically what it is that, you know, you are sharing with them and see if they're interested.
That's funny. I do say that to people. I'm not sure if this is for you, but, and behind the but, what I would recommend saying, and I haven't listened to that yet. I did order the book on Audible, but I haven't listened to it yet. Is tell them why you think it will be good for them based upon the conversations that you've had with them. So maybe it's somebody that's struggling to make ends meet and you're like, I'm not sure if this is for you, but I remember you mentioned like you were trying to take a trip with your husband this year and you couldn't afford it because you don't have any extra money. Like a really specific, like, you know, reason for them that it's important for them, because the more, and then you have to know something about them, obviously, for you to make it, because what happened, that's like, number one, that's showing them that you actually listened to what they said and you remember like what they have going on in their life, which, you know, making people feel important and like, and remembering like, whether you have to take notes about your prospects or whatever is like, that makes them feel like, wow, she really listened to me. She remembers that like I have 3 kids and, you know, we were trying to take this vacation to whatever, like the Bahamas or Mexico or whatever. So when you make it personal, you show them that you listen to them, you show them that you care, that they're not just a number, that they are a person, which they are. And you will make their interest more piqued because it's like you presented it in a way that it is applicable to them versus just being like, I don't know if this is for you, but hey, you know, we're doing this coaching presentation. Would you want to join us? Like make it specific why you're thinking of them, like why it applies to them. And it could be someone that, like I said, is curious about just like, you don't think that, don't prejudge is my point. Like if you think someone might just want to be a challenger, you know, you could invite them. And they can always sign up as a challenger at the end. They don't have to become a coach, but they're just being exposed to information. And it doesn't hurt for them to have that information. You could say, you know, maybe coaching isn't for you right now because you want to work on your own personal journey, but at least you'll have the information for the future, right? If it's something that you might want to do later.
And this is why calls are so important because I just did a bunch of follow-ups and I could have been more specific with the after the but. Like I do that. Like I look back and I see like, okay, what were they asking about? And like, you know, I'm not sure if you're still open to us working together, but I am curious, you know, how are things going? Like you mentioned, you know, last time you were working on glutes and your core, you know, how's that going? But I could tailor it a little better with what you just shared. Like this is why, I mean, obviously you guys are here, so you understand the importance, but maybe somebody listening to the recording will get on and do it as well.
So what I did was I posted the presentation in our team page. It took me like a few days to even get it in there because I like had, you know, Abe staying with me last weekend and then I worked a couple days in a row at the beginning of the week. So by the time I was able to get it up, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. But I am going to show it to you guys right now. We can just click through it real quick. And I know, Georgia, you already saw it. And like, we can decide if you want just what information we want to remove. And maybe what I was thinking is how we could gear it more towards like challengers too, not just coaches. So that if there is people that you just think could be good for a challenge group, what I don't want people to feel like is this person is not going to be wanting to be a coach. I'm not going to even invite them. Because, you know, coaches start as challengers. The best coaches start as challengers. So we're doing a sneak peek into coaching, but if we can gear it more towards like, it has to be about you and your own personal journey, then it could expose that challenger to it and they could potentially sign up as a challenger and become a coach later. So with that in mind, I feel like there's a lot of things we can remove from the presentation now, and there might be some things that we could add. Obviously, I could talk more about like so at the beginning we talk about what is this coaching business, what is coaching, that should even like be better written, but I can work on that later. What is Beachbody coaching on?
Real quick, while you're doing that, because I'm going to have to bounce in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Twyla actually was concerned getting on here, so I don't know if this is something that's going to be in your information given, but you know, she was concerned because she was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, what do I have to offer somebody? Like, but in the same breath, she shared like how good she's feeling and how this is tugging at her heartstrings. And so what we talked about back and forth was like that you do have expertise in how you feel. You do have expertise in being a parent and making this work and putting yourself first and doing all these things. And, you know, I think it's easy to compare ourselves to like, well, I can't do what Marissa does. Oh my gosh, like she's posting all over social media and she does this and she does that. Like, it's not about that. It's like you have your own expertise in how you feel to then turn around and share that with somebody else. And so you do have a lot to offer, and people need to realize that what we offer looks different. You know, the programs are there. You can give someone the programs. You're really selling you. And the fact that, you know, like Twyla, you could be reaching out to, you know, young moms that, you know, haven't been able to put themselves first, but you clearly are. You just posted in my group that you've actually been like depressed because of seasonal depression. You're still going through the motions. You're still showing up. You just went back into the group and posted videos. That is something that you're an expert in, how to still show up even when you're feeling all the feels. Like you're an expert in that. And that's how you help others.
There's a national wake-up call that, you know, you might want to listen to by that is geared towards that, and it talks about like how she gets her new coaches started. It was from like maybe a month ago. I was listening to national wake-up calls like back to back on my way when I was driving to Jacksonville. I like caught up on all my national wake-up calls, and it was, I can't remember her name, Mora Kukaba. And she talked about like how she gets her new coaches started. And really she just gets her new coaches started by focusing them on getting their own personal journey, getting their results in their own personal journey. And then she has them in like a pod, and then they start sharing like what things are working for each of them. And then they start sharing their journey on social media and inviting like their closest friends to be their accountability buddies. Like that's how she gets all of her coaches started, which is like so freaking simple. So that's how she got started. Is what happened is, you know, make a long story short, she kept falling off the wagon, like starting and falling, starting and stopping her Beachbody journey. And then her coach said to her, I think that if you had people join you, like if you had people that were relying on you to show up every day, I think you would show up for them before you would show up for yourself. So I think that coaching would be great for you. So she did. She decided to sign up as a coach and asked like her two closest, bestest friends to join her and be her accountability buddies, which they did. And from there, she just ended up building like this massive, you know, business where she taught her friends how to invite their friends and how to invite their friends. And that's how it happened. So don't think so much about like attracting all these people. Don't think about all these people. Just think about like, you know, your small little close group. That's where you start. And it's not necessarily about, hey, I'm going to coach you. It's, hey, you want to link arms and do this together. Like that's in the beginning what it should be is, do you want to, I'm doing this thing and it's really changing my life. Do you want to do it with me? Like I need a buddy. Like I think it would be really fun. You know, I think it would be awesome. We could get some great results. We could be accountable together. That's really how you start inviting people to join your challenge group. It's not about like doing some amazing post on social media. It's about you asking people to link arms with you on this healthy journey. Okay, so what is coaching, Beachbody coaching on Team Aloha? This is like I talk about real quick what's going to be covered, talking about my story, who we are, the possibilities, the company and products, earning potential, the trips, getting started, and what to expect from our team. This is a little bit about my story. Obviously, I have to change this picture because it's freaking old, but I think all this should be left in. like I have every excuse to fail. I really just want to show people that like I could have easily not been successful at the business, and talk about that, because I was like, I didn't know how to build a business. I had no formal business education. I think all this is good. Talking about my story, focusing on the fact that really my story is like that I got started with Insanity. I got amazing results. People were asking me what I was doing, and naturally I was like, it's this program, it's called Insanity, you should sign up, I'm so excited. And I started helping them sign up for Insanity before I was even a coach. I was selling Insanity to people before I even actually was making any money as a coach. So that's how it happened for me. So I'll focus on that, like mostly. That seems like a lot of slides. I'll probably try to reduce the amount of slides of talking about my story. Then this is like who we are as a team. We could focus a lot on, oops, I want to be able to see you guys. I'll put this across the top. Oh, it's not working. Focus more on like on your personal journey. Like that we're all different types of people, and what we start with is taking care of ourselves, like self-care and engaging in the programs. And that's how we become amazing coaches, is to focus on our personal journey first. So I can expand on that a little bit more. I think I can remove these slides. What do you think, Georgia? Like about the like whole talking about how people are, I think this is not like, yeah, okay. So I'm going to delete this slide. I'm going to delete this slide, I think. Talking about like different opportunities with Uber. I don't think I should talk about traditional business owners versus Beachbody. What do you think, Georgia? Because we went over this.
Right. Yeah, because I think you might just lose people. It kind of doesn't go with the flow.
No, it doesn't. So I think we can delete all this. Okay, so then we could talk, so here we could focus more on the better way, and I could talk more about like, I mean, this, I don't know if this is important or not. Is it like that? It's like you're basically opening your own business, but Beachbody is doing everything for you. This is really just about that. It's like, it's not expensive to get started. That's really what I'm trying to show them. It's not like to open up a traditional business, you have to work a lot harder. I think we should remove it. What do you think?
I think it's good to point out that it's not expensive to open up your own business, though, somehow, because that was a concern of mine too when I first started coaching.
Thinking that you had to have like inventory and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to do all that.
Maybe this could go more towards the end then, like,
okay.
Because like when we talk about what it's cost to get started, then we could tie that into like, there's no, yes, I think I can.
I agree that, in the past, like I did Mary Kay, and I hated having stuff on hand. I did not like doing parties. And so that was a huge draw to me, that I didn't have to have all that. And, the nice thing about Beachbody and how we now share is, you don't have to have everything. You don't have to start off selling everything. You can start where you're most comfortable. So if you just want to share, programs at first and just get people in a routine, awesome, start there. You can be successful doing that. If you want to start sharing about a product that really worked for you, great, start there. This business is really tailored to how you feel most comfortable sharing it, using it, and, posting about it. But like, instead of like challenge packs, maybe people would feel more comfortable knowing that like you can start small and you can just share about the programs, and you can just share about, Energize, if that's all that you're using, and you will still be successful if that is what is working for you and you're bringing others on using it as well.
I think that's really important to understand, that when you're getting somebody started, like when you're first starting and you're inviting people to join you, all people need different things. So you have to really listen to what they need, what their needs are, and meet them where they are. Because I think when, like back in the day, when I started coaching, it was challenge packs. And like I lost a lot of people because I tried to force them into this mold, into this box, versus just saying like, last month I signed up 3 people with like an Energize, a Shakeology sampler pack, and like a Beachbody On Demand membership, like, you know, an annual Beachbody On Demand membership, but nobody signed up with the challenge pack because that wasn't the solution that was going to work for them. So
I find the easiest share for me is similar. It's like 1 year, Energize, and the containers. I was very successful doing that for a while when I was pushing it more. And because like you need energy. I mean, shakes aren't going to fix your form, you know, like shakes aren't going to have you not press snooze. Like,
all right. So we go from like my story to talking about who we are as a team, which I think is important. Like, and I could expand a little bit more on like the challenge group here. Like I could add a slide about and like focusing on like, what is our fit tribe? Like how do we support people in there? And I could talk about how each coach does it differently, but like the way a lot of us do it is that we're running a challenge group together. I could maybe add a slide on that so that they know when they join, that would be more geared towards like when they join, they're going to get this support. They're going to get this team. They're going to have these all of us coaches are leading a day in that group, and they're getting exposed to you and Jonna and me and Melissa. Like each of us are like doing different things on nutrition. So I could talk more about challenge group details here and make another slide for that. And then I think this is important because it's like specifically about Beachbody. This is like before Team Beachbody. So this is when it was just Beachbody and there wasn't the coaching network. And then when they developed the coaching network, they literally just like kept expanding and expanding. And what the point of this slide is to show people there is something for everyone. Depending on what your solution, like what your healthy formula is, like what you need, there's something for you with Beachbody. So they can get started with an Energize, you know, all the things. So just so they're seeing how many, and I could put the performance line in here. I think I can probably cut up some little performance line photos and get them in there. Just to show them that there's all different types of products and that there's something for everyone. This is going to have to go because we don't have DVDs. Do we even have DVDs anymore? Do we even sell DVDs? So I could cover this up with like performance line and Shakeology. I could put some images of like performance line and Shakeology there, like supplements.
And how about the clothes line? Because we have the clothing line too. I don't know.
But they're removing yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're removing us getting they said that it wasn't, no one was really, it wasn't making any money. Like it wasn't bringing a lot of revenue. So they're removing that like money that we're making from the clothing line. So we can't get anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
So
real quick, my last share, cause I gotta go. But you know, since you've kind of like branched out and done different things, and I actually had a share from a coach in my private group that shared about how she hasn't played tennis in like a year. And people were like, damn, you look like you like have been like practicing tennis for the last year. And she was like, I was in the best shape. And she's like in her 40s, but like maybe pictures of like different activities, like you doing a Spartan, you know, somebody playing tennis, and that these programs aren't just for programs. It's for like the life that you want to live.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea because I do think that you can reach a lot more people if you say like Beachbody On Demand could be a cross training vehicle, not necessarily like you have to do it full out. That's a great idea.
Yeah, like runners, tennis, you know, the type of like, I can't think of Spartan races, you know, whatever. But like, I freaking love it when runners reach out. I'm like, oh, like Shaun T, you need to connect, you know? So having a slide of all like us real people, not just, you know, taking off like the internet, but like us real people in the middle of like stuff that we love doing, that it's helping us. Like I don't run, I only run in the summers, and it's freaking awesome. I feel stronger every summer running these massive hills.
Yeah. Yeah, and Angie's running too. She's about to do a half marathon. We have a lot of runners now.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, and Kristen's doing her triathlon, and so her Ironman. So I mean, like, we've got a lot of people in the group who actually are using Beachbody as a cross-training vehicle.
Okay.
So I think that needs to be shared, because that now reaches a whole new crop of people that were like, well, I can't stick to that program because I'm doing this training. Well, yes, you can. We've now changed our mindset around that.
All right. So I'm going to post in the team page and try to get images of our coaches or customers who are athletes. We're going to gear it towards like athletes and what sports they do, and see if, and what I could possibly do is take some screenshots of like the challenge group of like, you know, people that like, for example, Kristen's like, you know, triathlon training and how she does, I need to get some screenshots in there and have a little blurb of like what, you know, people are doing. That's a great idea. All right. So,
even just getting, I actually have a member that just messaged me that she just finished her marathon training. So even messages, you know, to show and just highlight different things like how we do on stories, you know, getting like asking some people that, you know, are athletes and being like, hey, you know, so how do you feel that this training, you know, this cross training has been working for you, and get a message back that you can then snapshot and highlight what you want to then show in these slides with their picture, and then pull a picture off Facebook.
yeah. But we need them to like write up a little thing, right?
Well, yeah. So that's why you're messaging them. I mean, that's basically what I do for my stories is I'm asking you questions like, hey, Marissa, oh my gosh, it's been a week. So what have you enjoyed most? You know, what's been helping you the most? What changes are you feeling? And people will write me back.
Okay.
And they're like, oh my gosh, like I just went to Orange Theory and I feel everything so much more. Like it's crazy. Bam, right there. Snapshot it and use it to share with others.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I can write the people personally. And we could even, so that could be like part of this slide, instead of using like these other people's images. Maybe I could make a couple slides with results of the people that are actually on our team. Like I know, Georgia, you have an amazing transformation, and Stephanie, yours is even amazing for like, you're already in super shape, but you got in like ridiculously super shape. Okay, so we can get more results of, so I can remove this slide. I can delete this slide. And I can have results of our team. So we can talk more about results. This slide is really about showing that like, not only is, you know, you get amazing results with like fitness, nutrition, and like the support, but what are you writing? I can't read it. Oh, she's leaving. Okay, see ya. Have a good practice, or whatever basketball thing. Okay, so then, come on. I guess this is showing people that not only do you get amazing results, but that there is like focusing on the fact that when you get amazing results, you can get rewarded for it by inviting people to come and do this with you and have this journey. So that's really, coaching is like simply an extension of being a challenger. It's not like, I'm trying to show people, I want to expose people to this and show them that coaching isn't like, I mean, yes, there's a lot more to coaching than just being a challenger, but if you just think of it as an extension of what you're already doing, then it doesn't become so overwhelming. It's just, you're a challenger, you're focusing on you, you're getting amazing results, and then you're inviting people to join you on this journey, to link arms with you and get amazing results with you, and you're being rewarded because of it. So in order to do that, you need to start being accountable to your journey by sharing it publicly. And that's really what coaching is. And then when you have those people coming with you, it's not like, now I'm an expert because I'm a coach and you're joining me and I'm going to be coaching you. No, it's, here we are, we're linking arms, let's do this together. And I think that for a long time, I felt like I had to be like this amazing coach to people to get them amazing results. And now I realize like, I just need to continue to be a challenger. And that's why I write stuff like, you know, yesterday I was like freaking binge watch Love is Blind all day. Like I had a setback yesterday, no problem. Like I just got to let people know that I have those too. Like I'm not perfect and I'm still a challenger. Like always stay a challenger, and coaching is just an extension of that. That's all it is. It's just inviting people to come be a challenger with you. And if you think about it like that, it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. You don't have to think I need to be this rock star coach. No, I just need to be a rock star challenger. And I need to invite people to come join me. That's it. So this slide is showing that you can be rewarded for joining. Something really cool that I listened to the other day, and I actually recorded it, is that out of like 2 million companies in the United States, only less than like 2,000 have made it to $1 billion in revenue. And Beachbody is one of those companies. So I think that's pretty freaking cool. I was listening to the Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I have it recorded in my phone. I recorded it, like the statistic on my voice memos, because I was like, I want to put that in our presentation because I want to show people like we're not going anywhere. This is a huge company who spends tons of money on marketing. You know, people know the brand, like the brand name is out there. It's just a matter of you finding the people that this suits their needs and them, you know, joining you and wanting you to be their coach. And the way you do that is you be consistent with your journey. You be consistent with your own personal journey. So I think this slide is important, and I can put the statistic in there and talk about it when I talk about this slide. I do think that the earning potential is important. I like these slides, but what do you guys think? I basically take them on an income progression from when I started as a coach, like my very first paycheck, through becoming an Emerald coach, a Diamond coach, a 2-star Diamond, a 5-star Diamond. So people can actually see the potential of the income earning opportunity. Do you think that this is important? Because I feel like it is. Yeah, okay. So these slides are first paycheck, Emerald coach, Diamond, 2-star, what I would earn. These are weekly earnings. These are my actual paychecks that I took screenshots of as a 2-star Diamond. And then this is as a 5-star Diamond, which this was years ago because I'm not, this isn't my income right now. I wish. We had a lot of team leave us and it went down, but this is a weekly, this is what I earned in a week back when like things were really good on our team. Okay, so there's that. I think this is important, like the additional benefits of being a coach, the fact that you can schedule it around your life, the fact that you're having a supportive community you're joining, you can do it whenever you want. Maybe I could expand on this a little bit, but basically it's just saying that you're going to be a business owner and it's whatever you put in, you get back out. So that's what's cool about it. It doesn't have to be like a traditional business where you put in 40 hours a week. You can literally build this business in 5 to 10 hours a week, as long as you're doing A, being the best challenger, and B, inviting people to join you on your journey. That's it. That's what coaching is. I do think that the trips are important. We could change these images and we could put some new ones. These are obviously like my hair are really old, and try to get some people from like that are on the team now on the trips, like when we've gone together to Summit and things like that. And just, this is just talking about all the trips the trips that are possible for you to earn. These are all the trips that I actually earned over the years. I have more, I just haven't updated this in a long time. I think that's important to show people that they can earn trips. I think this slide is important, showing people that they don't have to be like a fitness expert or, you know, into any of that, or experienced salesperson or a business owner, or have a ton of time. They just simply have to be the best challenger by committing to being proof their product works, doing their personal development, and then inviting people to come on this journey with them. Like, it's really that simple. We just overcomplicate it. So I think this slide is important. And then this slide is, I think I'm gonna have to change it because it has DVDs on there. Well, no, that's fine. They could do just a fitness program, or like I should put like Beachbody on Demand here, not a fitness program. This is actually like an image, like a screenshot of something that Beachbody had created. So I'd have to, I don't know, I'd have to have my assistant work on that. Or they can join as a customer, so they don't have to get started as a coach right away. And then we could talk about the fact that, like, focusing on the fact that there's no inventory. All of this stuff is provided, you know, so we're telling them how they get started. So really the investment is simply you invest in the products that are going to help you get the best results, and Beachbody takes care of the rest. So they take care of, you know, so I should change the, so that they know that, like, okay, so this is what you're investing in, and this is what's provided for you in your investment, if that makes more sense. I think this is a good slide, but I think it should be something different. They're talking about the fact that like it's something more than just like the fact. That's why I decided to become a coach. I was already a CRNA. I was already working full time, making a 6-figure income. I didn't need money. I wanted to do it because I think I can get rid of this. But we can, because I wanted to impact somebody. I wanted to have like an impact in somebody's lives and help them, you know, feel good. And I think I can get rid of this, the law of the harvest stuff. What do you think? Yeah. And then that's it. So there's 28 slides. So what do we feel are we missing, or are we talking about too much, like that I can reduce down? Because I'm very open to like fixing this and editing it and making it better. Anybody have suggestions? I think she hopped off too.
I think overall it looks pretty good. I think I like the idea of like making sure that we talk about like different journeys that people have had towards becoming a coach, you know, why you became a coach, and like just what opportunities are out there as a coach. So I think it's good.
Okay. And then what we would do after, like, so this would be like 20 to 30 minutes or whatever. And then after I'm done, then we would have a couple of coaches that would be interested in sharing their journey. I mean, their story with people too. So it wouldn't just be like my story, like people would hear multiple different coaching stories, and it would be like a 5-minute type, you know, deal where someone would share their story for 5 minutes and say like, here was what was missing in my life. Here's how I got started. Here's what it's done for me. And here's what my life is now, so that people can see themselves in their story. So what do you think, Georgia? You're muted.
Sorry. I think it's great. I really like, because when I first started coaching, I think I saw that whole slideshow or whatever. And I just have to say, I love how your mindset has changed, because when I started coaching, I was so overwhelmed at first, because I thought, like what you were saying, you had to be this perfect coach, you know, that just coached people to get results and everything. But now, like what you said a while ago, it's just, you got to change your mindset more like just linking arms with the challenger, you know, and going forward with that. And I really liked, I just liked how you've changed that way. So now it gets me more excited to be a coach right now, you know, whereas before when I first saw it, 3-4 years ago, I was like, whoa, I don't know. You know, I don't know if this is for me. So now I'm like, whoa.
Did you join because of a presentation?
No, I was freaked out after the presentation. You know, okay. It was back then, like when you were like in that mindset of, you know, selling challenge packs all the time, and you know, it was totally different. And I was very hesitant back then. So it took a while for Callie to keep talking to me. Even after I saw the presentation, I was like, I don't know, you know, it's way too overwhelming for me, you know? So if this was the first presentation I saw, you know, with the way you're talking now, I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, I could totally do this. You know, this sounds cool. Okay. But the first one, I was like, no way. And Callie had to talk to me several times, you know, even after the presentation I saw, I was like,
Well, that's
way.
Awesome. I mean, that's awesome feedback, because like, all I did was know what I only could do what I knew I thought was correct, right? Like, we can only do the best we can with the information that we have. And then obviously, like, listening to more national wake up calls, I'm like, why is my team struggling so bad? You know, like, and I'm like, because we are overcomplicating it. That's why. Mm-hmm. It's not like, and I think, well, first of all, that's the way that it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, passed down from like above. And second of all, I'm that type of person where I'm a perfectionist. So it's not surprising that I was like, I got to get this perfect. I got to be the best coach. Like, look at me, like rocks, you know, because that's who I am. Like in everything that I do, I'm a perfectionist, you know? So it's not surprising that I took on that. And then, but most people, they can't relate to that because most people are not like that. And especially moms who are busy, like full-time moms, working moms, they don't have the time and energy to be what I am when I don't have kids and I don't have, you know, all of that responsibility. So that National Wake Up Call, you should listen to it by Mora Kaba. Because that's what changed my, like, I was like, she's, you know, was like number 3 in the company. I think she's making like, I don't know, her income is like crazy. She makes like $80,000 a month or something. It's like crazy. And she literally just gets her coaches started in a pod and like is chatting with them every day about their journey, their personal journey. Like that, for the first month, it's all about their personal journey. It's not even about, and then inviting becomes a natural, you know, side effect of them engaging in their own personal journey. And when I listened to that, I was just like fireworks were going off for me because I'm like, this is why everyone's struggling so much, because they're overcomplicating it, and it's being passed down from me, you know, to them. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of how can we just make it an extension of your personal journey. Like that's all it is. That's all coaching is. It's just, there's a lot more to it, like the posting and inviting and all those things, but she just made it so simple. That National Wake Up Call was like, I'm going to listen to it again. And I will before we do this presentation. So I have that fresh in my mind. I'm going to take notes because I was listening to it while I was driving, you know, so I obviously wasn't taking notes and stuff. But I'm going to go back to it because it was a very valuable call. And yeah, I think that that's like the gist of the presentation should be, it starts with you. Not like all this other stuff about like posting on social media and the training that you're going to have to go through and the, you know, like, no, just, it starts with you. Like personal development, being proof the product works. And that's even how I, like when I talk to people about coaching, you know, I had a girl who I should follow up with her and invite her to this. And I talked to her about coaching. I'm like, well, what makes you curious about it? And I learned that like fitness is her passion, like health, fitness is her passion. And I was like, at the end of the call, I wasn't like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get started with the challenge pack and this and, you know, coaching and whatever. And I'm going to have a training program. I just said, she hasn't been exposed to Beachbody. So the first thing I said was the way you get started is you start with you. And I was like, so I recommend that you would get started as a customer, you know, and or you can sign up as a coach if you want, but like that you actually do a month of the challenge group, you drink the shakes or the performance line, you use Beachbody On Demand, you engage in a program, and you focus on getting results for yourself. And then, you know, you pay that forward. She still hasn't signed up, but I haven't followed up with her either. So, but yeah, I think that's what we need to gear the presentation towards. But I do think that like them seeing the income potential is important because I want them to see that like this really is a business. You really can, you know, make money doing it. It's not just like some foo-foo like out there. Like I did it, and there's nothing like spectacular about me. Look at me. I'm like this is how I show up to team calls. You know, like I just got done working out, and I built this business to 6 figures. So obviously, it's not like doesn't take some crazy like perfect person to do it. It just takes someone who's motivated and wants to put in the time. So, all right. So I will work on fixing this, making it like flow more and figure out exactly what I'm more going to say. And then in the meantime, I will work on trying to get some like athletic stories, like people to send me a little blurb about like reach out to people personally and get like a little like thing and maybe like an image of them. And then what else do I need to do? I need to edit this presentation. My assistant is working on an event for us, so we can invite people to the event, and then she'll post stuff in there, and also creating a group, like a Snoop group, like a Beachbody Coach Snoop group, so that how we would do it is they could go in that group, and we'll keep it open. and it'll be like an ongoing group, so that say they don't sign up as a coach, or they aren't able to make it to our presentation, then they'll be invited to the next one and invited to the next one and invited to the next one. So the group will stay open, and then we'll have an event that's just like specifically for that day. And once the event is over and it's past, it's gone, like it disappears. But then when we do another one, like a month or two from now, then we'll have another event and we can post it into that group. So they'll keep being exposed to opportunities to learn more if they want to. Because it took me 8 months to say yes to coaching. So, it takes most people a lot of time. And a lot of the coaches that I've had, I'll be honest, that I signed them up right away and they were like, yeah, let's do it. And they bought the challenge back. They never did anything, or they started and they were like gung ho for a month and then they quit on me, because they jumped all in and then, it didn't work. So the people that take a lot longer to say yes, actually, I feel like they stick around longer because they know that it's like a process. It's not just something that's going to happen overnight, So, all right. So do we have anything else I need to do for this? Because I always have to make notes of what I need to do. Or we're good? We're good? All right. So I'm going to edit the presentation. Would you want to share your story, Georgia? Would you want to be one of the stories?
I'm hesitant about that because I feel like as a coach, I haven't been successful. You know what I mean?
But you don't have to even talk about that. You could just talk about your challenger story. Okay.
Like what made me get started as a challenger?
No, like your transformation.
Okay.
You could talk about the fact that your story could be, I don't know how you got started with Callie, but I know that you lost a lot of weight and a lot of inches. You weren't really in shape before, and now you are. Mm-hmm. And I know that Beachbody was the catalyst for that. So whatever your story was of how Callie attracted you, I saw a post from Callie on Facebook and I was like, I don't want to do what she's doing, how you got started, and then what you started with. I started with this program in Shakeology or whatever it was, what your journey was. I lost, all this weight in these inches, in how you're feeling changed, your confidence, and even the fact that you're on this call and you're talking to me right now is not something
that's huge.
You couldn't even have seen yourself doing that, So you don't just have to focus on the weight loss, but and you can if you want to, you could type it up and you can send it to me and I can give you feedback if you want.
Okay.
If you want to type up, this is what I'm going to say, this is going to be how I share my story. You can type the whole thing up. I'll read it. I'll give you feedback. But I would just say just your journey from how you got started, what you started with, your transformation, focusing on how did it change the way you felt, other things that it did for you besides help you lose weight and inches. Cause that's not all we are. It helped you become more extroverted, being on these calls and, having this support system, and you kind of feel like you're plugged in again, on these Zooms, which you weren't for a while. Cause Callie isn't doing it anymore. Your coach is gone. And then how you feel, what has changed for you, how you feel now, you're being consistent, you just finished your whatever program you
bar.
Finished, no, I mean however number that is, how many programs you finished.
Right. Oh yeah.
You finished a lot of programs.
Oh my God. I can't even,
6, 10, whatever, this is, and it's been a lifestyle. And, and along the way, you've had some people join you. You never thought that you would be a coach because you're introverted, and you didn't think you could do it because you're not in the shape that you wanted to be in, or whatever your biggest objections were to getting started, and how you feel they're not existent anymore because it's just you doing you and then inviting people to join you.
Yeah. So my biggest objection was not being a fitness guru. I didn't know anything about fitness, so I'm like, I can't coach because I can't tell people, I know nothing about fitness. All I know is that I worked out 30 minutes every day and followed a nutrition plan and lost weight, so.
That's what I would focus on mostly.
Yeah.
I would focus on that
Okay.
the most. Like, I'm just like, I'm a mom, you know, and
Yeah, just
I'm,
average.
I'm a working mom, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm doing this business, and, you know, and I'm not like, you're not some crazy fitness, like fitness wasn't something that you did prior to this.
Mm-mm.
And you're coaching and you've had people join you and you've earned some income. I mean, you have earned some income, so you can do it. It doesn't,
Yeah.
and you don't even have to talk about like that it's been this much, or what has it done for you? Has it allowed you to take an extra family vacation?
Yeah.
Has it allowed you to put like one of your kids in some, something additional? Like, has it filled up your gas tank, once a month? Like, it doesn't have to be, don't think about in terms of, I'm not successful because I haven't made six figures. That's just not. How have you been successful? Whatever the ways that you have been, like becoming more extroverted, getting on these calls and all those things, those are the things that you focus on, that coaching has done for you. Because coaching is not just about the money that you've earned. I think that was another mistake that I was making before too, is I was focusing it's all your success is based on how much money you're making. It's not.
I need to get that out of my head. I know. That's one thing I'm working on. So, okay. So you're going to post this call, right? Because I need to be able to hear again everything you just said.
Yeah, I'll post this call. And
okay.
I think the biggest thing is like, there is actually a post where I talk about your story in the unit section of our team page. I have these like how to write your story by Milan Jensen. She sent me these like how to write your story. And there's like a couple of PDFs I think in there that tell you like how to take your story from start to finish. But really it's focusing mostly on like how you were before you started, what changed for you, and how you are now.
Okay.
That's really like, whenever I write my story on social, it's like, what was it like before? What changes did I make? And then what did it do for me? And so that people can see themselves in that. But yeah, I'll post this and check that out. I'll try to tag you. I'll actually go in there right now and I hope I recorded this, right? Yes, I did record it. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll post this and I'll also tag you in that, how to write your story in the unit section in our team group.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and like I said, if you want to write it up and type it up and send it to me, I'll gladly read it for you and, happily read it for you and give you feedback.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so I will see you guys next Saturday. And thanks for joining. I hope this was helpful.
It was.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ange is a new coach, by the way, Georgia. She just enrolled with me, and she's been.
Yes. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I would say like talking about taking a long time to become a coach. I think it was like 3 years.
Wow.
It took you like 3 years to finish your first program, actually.
Well, that too. So.
She kept doing the program, and now she's doing the morning Zooms, like at 6 a.m. every day. She hosts a Zoom for people that want to hop on and work out with her. So
that's awesome.
So yeah.
That's too early for me here in Arizona, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's way too early for you in Arizona. Oh my goodness.
All right, ladies. Have a good week, and I'll see you guys.
Okay.
And I'll post this stuff.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.